Over the last couple of decades, the concept of sustainability has gained widespread recognition and importance. There has been an increased pressure on organizations to expand their performance criteria from economic performance for shareholders to sustainability performance for all stakeholders. This video, called Green Competencies for a Green Future, sets the context and introduces a sustainable transformation that has been implemented in Jack Thompson Foundation's school building project, and then reflects on project management profession in Australia. In the first part of this video, I will introduce Jack Thompson Foundation and their project, which is a sustainable transformation. The Jack Thompson Foundation addresses housing shortage, unemployment, and poor education outcomes in Northeast Arnhem Land, Australia. They design projects to facilitate the teaching of Indigenous Australians in 6 homeland communities in this area how to build their own accommodations from materials and resources available in their own country, the living ground. There is the fact that no Indigenous person in Northeast Arnhem Land has ever been to a fixed school program. In general, there are no high school in homelands. In this area, people either do not attend school or only to year 8. Therefore, this project aim is to provide classroom for students from the ages of primary to year 12. In particular, accommodation required is a classroom for primary students, a study room for students from year 8 to 12. The school will be also required to serve parents who are involved in bilingual education. Through this project, Jack Thompson Foundation intention is to facilitate the training of local Indigenous people to provide for their housing and education needs now. Possible technical skills are also allowed the Indigenous communities to develop their own future aspiration. This project is a sustainable transformation because it adopts organizational strategies and activities that meet the needs of its stakeholders today while delivering social, environmental, and economic benefits in the future. We can see that from the deliverable of the project. For social dimension, this project tends to improve the quality of life, the impact of development on the local community. This project's social deliverables are lifelong education, building schools to ensure equal access to all levels of education and vocational training for Indigenous people, equip them knowledge and skills to own their own lives. Education also have to solve issues of public health and safety, appropriate skills training, with the Indigenous workers gaining skills that will allow them to continue on a practical level or seek jobs in the construction industry. Cultural understanding. The project team need to understand the local culture and practices to ensure the project in line with their cultural belief. Participation of community. It is incredibly important to engage local community to take part in the project. Last but not least, seeking support from community. Sustainable development in remote Australia can only happen if ordinary Australians lend a hand up to the people living in the country. Environmental sustainability of this project finds its way to work with natural systems while meeting human needs. They are natural systems. In this project, natural resources are to be used in the construction. Friendly environmental resources. The schools are engineered and architecturally designed and will have solar passive thermal mass structures. Finally, living system principles, including protect key places and vital ecosystem in this area, and protect and review biodiversity of plants and animals around communities. In terms of economic dimension, this project have to consider localizing economies, well-designed school with building material which reduce the expenditure of the hardware usually supplied by goods and services from the eastern states. Human resource utilization. project team need to train and use indigenous people as main employee. Finally, the project also need to choose location, measure logistics to manage the distant and different clan groups within the Northeast Arnhem Land. Ethical dimension is essential of this project because ethics is about making the best possible decision concerning people, resources, and the environment. Sustainability and ethical principles are intertwined because sustainability concepts cannot be applied without strong ethical principle, and project cannot be considered as an ethical transformation if it does not follow sustainability principle. In summary, the Jack Thompson Foundation is not only a solution but also a medium through which we might improve the skill base of Indigenous Australians in order that they can continue the education and training work of the foundation, calling on the foundation for support when necessary. So, we need to equip people with the skills, capacity and motivation to plan and manage change towards sustainability within project and community. Building capacity and skills for sustainability requires not only changing behavior but also transforming thinking. Understanding about Jack Thompson Foundation and their projects, I would like to recommend the required competencies to deliver the project in the second part of this video. Besides some technical skills that are necessary in construction industry such as tree cutting, chainsaw operation, forestry, husbandry, heavy machine operation, it is recommended that project team need to educate local people some required competencies to deliver this sustainable transformation. These required skills and competencies are critical thinking and critical reflection skill, emotional intelligence competency, leadership competency, and change management competency. Firstly, because a sustainable perspective is so far from business as usual thinking and doing, so critical thinking and reflection need to be this project companion. Critical thinking, generally referring to what others are doing, and critical reflection, generally referring to what we are doing, provide the basis for learning and innovating, both as individual but particularly as group together. Project team members and indigenous students need to be trained this skill to equip ability to gather and analyze information for creative problem solving. They are also essential for decision making, information gathering and interpretation, and creativity or innovation. An important component of this project is emotional intelligence. It is defined as the ability to manage ourselves and our relationships effectively. Emotional intelligence competency is an ability to recognize, understand, and use emotional information about oneself that leads to effective or superior performance. Stakeholders of this project are indigenous people. Hence, to foster and nurture a sustainable change in this project, project teams should understand themselves and their emotions, find the right moment to trigger the process, align the purpose of the project with each team member purpose, coach for discovery, help to understand the initial state, help the team member identify learning agenda and let them experiment improvements. Emotional intelligence may include some skills such as communication skill, writing or oral presentation skill, and giving or receiving feedback. Leadership is defined as the ability to create and communicate vision and passion to assist individuals and organizations in optimizing their potential. It demonstrates ability to influence and support others to perform complicated tasks. Therefore, this competency is incredibly important for this project because it can increase stakeholder engagement, which create permanent transformation in those communities and ensure the success of this project. it is proposed that project team need to choose outstanding people from local community to train and coach them to be effective leaders. And effective leaders are the people who have ability to work effectively as a team member and team leader, having ability to build relationship and connect community, keeping their project team and community focused on sustainable transformation goals. This competency includes self-management skill, team contribution, conflict management, negotiation and consensus building. Finally, I propose a change management competency because it is a comprehensive and structured approach for transitioning individuals, groups from a current state to a future state with intended benefit, which is very essential for Jack Thompson Foundation project. In this project, in order to be most effective, change management competency must include fostering common understanding and vision of change, clear communication and educating team members and indigenous people about how their work will be affected by the proposed change, and concrete plan to measure whether or not the change is achieving its desired result. This competency may include diversity awareness, global awareness, and strategic planning. This project, including school building and competency equipment, places a premium on indigenous people commitment to learn, not just only formal learning in the classroom, but also lifelong learning. It's the process of continuous learning from their daily experiences and opportunities, especially in a dynamic and ever-changing environment. A commitment to lifelong learning helps them build portfolios of skills that are always up to date and valuable in the labor market. Reflecting on Jack Thompson Foundation project, I would like to propose some improvements that will enhance the professionalization of managing projects in Australia to deliver a sustainable transformation are complex, dynamic and involve change in multiple systems. Moving to a greener economy will change the way Australians live, work and do business. For most workers, this shift will mean learning new skills and competency to do existing jobs in more sustainable ways. According to Australian Institute of Project Management, all project managers must have the capabilities to recognize project problems and opportunities, make good decisions and take appropriate action. They do this through the process of planning, managing and review the use of resources to accomplish project goals. The leadership style of successful sustainable transformation is the engaging style, which builds on empowerment and involvement in highly transformational contexts. This leadership style is focused on producing radical change through engagement and commitment. This leadership style includes some competencies such as ethical understanding and behavior, personal flexibility, tolerance for ambiguity, and performance responsibility. Project leaders should use emotional intelligence to create a special relationship with their stakeholder to deliver sustainable transformation. When this special relationship is created, the stakeholder feel better and the project performances also increase. Therefore, I suggest project leaders to adopt a 4-step process. Firstly, understand stakeholder and their emotion. Secondly, care about stakeholder. Thirdly, inspire stakeholder. And finally, create and maintain relationship with project stakeholder throughout the project. From this project, we can see that nowadays project manager role has expanded to include responsibilities of ensuring greening project management practices are adopted within their projects, programs and portfolios, as well as managing their project to ensure future sustainability. Competency for sustainable transformation is about developing this competency to support the growth of the green economy, or green competency for green jobs. All workers will need the abilities and knowledge to respond effectively to the shift to the greener business practices.